Holocaust.
What kind of work? Where? Before the war, you mean?
No, here.
Here. I was in the business for myself. I have a dry cleaning supply store. I had the store for about 20 years.
And where was this?
It was in Newark, New Jersey. Yeah. And I retired in December '74. So I'm here about over 20 years in Florida.
And were you always in Delray?
Yeah.
How does it say? Today's date is April 5th, 1995. The survivor is Irving Miesing. The interviewer is Deborah Kimmel. The city is Delray, Florida, USA. The interview will be conducted in English. This is tape number 1. My name is Deborah Kimmel, Kimmel. Today is April 5th, 1995. I am conducting an interview with Irving Miesing, Miesing, in Delray, Florida, USA. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Irving Miesing, Miesing.
And what was your name at birth?
My name was Miesengieser, Misengiser. So I cut the name in half.
And when were you born?
I was born in Warsaw, January 17, 1912.
And did you grow up in Warsaw?
Yet all my life. I was born in Warsaw, and I left Warsaw in 1942.
Did you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. And me and myself, we were 5 kids altogether now.
What did your father do for a living?
We have a shoe factory. It was not a big factory like in the United States, Europe. But we had my brother's help, and we had a couple of people working for us. So we were working about 5 or 6 people altogether.
Can you describe what kind of man your father was?
My father was a quiet man. He was not a talker. And he always, his whole life, he likes to work. He used to work from 6 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock. After dinner, 7 o'clock, he went back to work. He just liked to work.
Can you describe your mother?
My mother was a very happy person. She was always happy. In fact, you would know the difference when she was sick or when she didn't have money. Happened. She didn't have money. It happened. She always happy. You would know the difference. She always smiled, and everybody liked her. The neighbors, everybody likes her. And my face and her face, you like the same face. I look like my mother all the time.
Did you come from a religious family?
Not too religious. It was like, they call it conservative.
Did you celebrate the holidays?
Oh yeah, we celebrate our holidays. We didn't work on Saturdays. But my father was not a really deep religion person. So he didn't went to the temple, to the shul, let's call it, every day. But on holidays, every holidays, he went to shul. And he took the kids with him where he went.
Do you remember the name of the synagogue that you went to?
Yeah, my father was a member in they call it the Tlomacka Shul in Warsaw. It was the biggest shul in whole Europe that time. Very big. It was a nice shul. So we used to go to the shul there.
Were you bar mitzvahed?
I really don't remember. I think I have something, but in that time they didn't have bar mitzvahs like they have here in America, you know. That time to make a bar mitzvah was the aunt with the uncle come to the house, and we drink beer, maybe a piece of fish, and this was the bar mitzvah. But
So it wasn't a real bar mitzvah that you remember?
no, was really, I really don't remember, but I remember I still have tefillin, so probably I must have bar mitzvah.
What kind of child were you?
I was a wild child.
How were you a wild child?
Wild, for example, in school, in the public school, I was fighting all the time, and I don't want to go to the school too much. So I consider myself I was not a quiet boy. The same thing, I went to high school, was the same thing. So I remember I was not a nice, quiet boy like I remember right now.
What kinds of things were you getting into fights about?
No, it was not really fight. It was just arguments, you know. And so, like if we play some sport or anything, if I lost, I was mad and started yelling and this. So
What did you like to do when you were a young boy?
travel. From the beginning, what I remember, I always liked to travel.
Where did you go?
No place, but I like to travel. I know if I if I'm going to be old a little bit, if I have the money, I wouldn't sit in one place. I like to travel. Matter of fact, I ran away from the house when I was 15 years old. And I went to the port city, they call it Gdańsk in Poland. And I was thinking to go on a ship and go to America. The police caught me and they sent me back home. This was my biggest disappointment when I was young.
What was your relationship like with your parents?
Very good relationship. My parents was unusually good people. Not because they were my parents, but they really, like my father really never showed love. I mean, he didn't kiss us, but we knew he's a good father. He means good. He will do everything for us to make us happy. That's nice. The same thing my mother. My mother was different. She was a kisser, so liked to grab the kids and kiss them. They was good parents, very nice parents.
And what was your relationship like with your siblings?
Very good relationship too. Good. Very nice. We never had fights, even because my older sister married very young, so we were 4 kids together in the home. And my youngest sister was a very beautiful girl, good looking, nice, just the boys make her crazy. We don't have a telephone, in Europe like here. So everybody used to come. All of a sudden the doors open, the boys on the house. So it was very beautiful. It was we had a really good life in the home. It was a nice life. Can say nothing bad about it.
Can you describe what your home looked like?
We had a 3-bedroom apartment. the factory was, we had one big room, but we had a factory there. Same thing. My father liked nice stuff. He used to like pictures, he used to like nice furniture. We live very nice, very nice.
Did you have other relatives that lived nearby?
No, I have my mother's sister. She lived, let's say, maybe 10 miles from us. Really, two sisters live in the same house. It was nice. Every weekend we used to go, Saturday we used to walk there. You could imagine, 10 miles was, if you call it a spazier. Let's go spazieren. The spazier was 10 miles there and 10 miles back. And the old kids with the parents, we looked like little dogs. We used to walk in the back and they used to walk in the front. And we used to go there and have a tea, a glaze of tea, and a piece of cake, and we went back home for the spazier. The same thing was with my aunt. She used to come to us the next week with her husband. That was a really nice family life that you don't see here in America. The same thing.
Did you have cousins?
Yeah, because my aunt, she have a son and she have daughters, so they were my cousins.
Was your neighborhood Jewish?
Yeah, it was 95% was a Jewish neighborhood. In every house was a shul, small shul.
Did you ever experience any anti-Semitism when you were growing up?
Yeah. Like evening, we were afraid to go to the park. Yeah, I'm not afraid I could get killed or something, but to beat up. Because they don't have guns or knives, something like that. They just beat up. That's all. If I was stronger, I beat them up. If they were stronger, they beat me up. But I went to the park every day and night, just looking for some trouble.
What did you do after high school?
After high school, I didn't finish high school. I never finished high school.
What happened?
I don't like the school. I don't like to learn.
When did you stop going?
After 2 years. So my father said to me, you know what, if you don't want to learn, he said, come out. Come to the house and you go work with us. Because see what we could do. So I help out my father a little bit. I deliver the goods to the customers. When I grow old a little bit, I become a salesman and travel around Poland in looking for customers. And our business started to grow. It was very comfortable at that time.
Were you still living at home?
Yeah.
And when did things start to change?
Change in September 39. When we saw the first German planes flying over Warsaw. If we thought that's a Polish plane, just they're doing exercise, we can't believe it. And when we heard the first bomb falling down, then we knew the war.
And what changed for you with the beginning of the war?
It was scary. It was scary. We knew we didn't expect nothing good. We knew we expecting only bad stuff coming from the Germans if they taking Warsaw. So people were staying the whole night on the streets and talking, but nobody could believe it. What will happen, this what really happened. We thought about everything, but not this.
What were the first changes that happened for you?
Changes, what you mean, during the war, or when they took me the first time to a concentration camp?
What were you doing before that?
Nothing. There was nothing to do in the ghetto. I was in the ghetto, don't forget, till April 42.
When did you go into the ghetto?
I live in the ghetto the whole time, because there was a Jewish section. So right away, become not the first year, but the second year become a ghetto. So I can leave the Warsaw, the ghetto, and go to other streets.
Did you stay in your home was your home part of the ghetto?
Yeah.
And what did you do during the day when you were in the ghetto?
Oh, I used to go out looking for something, looking for food, and looking to do it, maybe sell something or buy something. It just was really nothing to do.
What did you do for food?
For food? No, we don't have food. That's why so many people die on the street every day. When you get up in the morning, you can walk on the sidewalk. You have to walk over dead bodies. But people die. I had times 3-4 days without any food. But this is unbelievable. No food. It was very hard to survive.
Was your family all together at that point?
Yeah, all together at that time.
Were any of you working?
Not in the ghetto. There was no work. What kind of work you could do? Who will buy it? Who you will sell? You can get everything.
And how long were you in the ghetto?
I was till April 42.
Can you describe what happened in April?
In April, I was staying outside the house, and I was thinking how long I could live this way, how I could survive this way without food. And I knew maybe tomorrow, maybe a day after, I go lay down on the street and die the same like everybody else. So I was staying and thinking a truck passed by with Germans, and they caught me. They told me to went on the truck, and they sent me to a concentration camp. So they kept me in a special house with more people in Warsaw, a special house. The next day in the morning, they give us, everybody, bread, and they call it marmalade, or margarine, and they send us, they put us in trains, in cattle trains, they send us away.
Did you have any idea where you were going?
Nobody knew it. We were on the train 3 days.
Can you describe what that was like?
When we left the trains, I think, I don't saw it, but people used to tell me maybe 50 people die in the train. We were in a box like sardines. You was unable to turn around. Like you went in, you stood this way, you stood for 3 days. No food, nothing, just days, up for 3 days.
Did you know anybody who was on the train with you?
No.
How old were you?
That time, 42, I was 30 years old.
At that time, did you know if your family knew what had happened to you?
No, my family didn't know.
And where did the train go?
The train went to the Russian occupied territory, where the German occupied, where they call it Belarusia. Minsk, Bobroinsk, Smolensk, right on the border to the border with Poland. We didn't know where we're going, but when we saw the first signs in Russia, we knew this in the Russia occupied territory.
And what happened?
And they let us out in the woods in the morning, and they kept us there for maybe a week. Especially me, I was there for a week. There was no work, no food. And every day when we get up in the morning, people was hanging on the trees. They hang just the people for nothing. And they tell us openly, nobody will come out from here, from this place that we were there. But just I was lucky. What happened was a German general came to us and said, he asked who we knew it, shoemakers and tailors and mechanics. So I started to yell, I'm a shoemaker. I was really, I don't know nothing how to make shoes. But I took a chance. I knew just to go out from here. So they took us about 10, 20 miles away from this place to a place where they call it Bobroinsk. Bobroinsk is a place, this is by the lake Berezina, if you hear there. It's a lake in Russia, Belarus, they call it Berezina. But during the First War, Napoleon was unable to cross this Berezina, so he was stopped. That time he lost the war, probably at that time. So we were right under Berezina, there in this one. It was very cold. In winter time, it was like 20 below zero.
How many of there were you?
40. Only 40 people.
And what were you wearing?
We wear they look like dungarees, dark blue pants, and a little jacket. That's it.
And on your feet?
Wooden shoes. And
where did you stay there?
We had a little. The day was not bad. We had little rooms. Was not bad. Beginning, we didn't have food. The same thing. But after a couple of days, the food started to come in. We had food a little bit too.
And were you working?
Yeah, I was working in the shoe factory, where they fixed the shoes for the Germans. The damaged shoes, but they used to come back. We used to fix them. They used to pick them up and send them on the front again.
Did you know what to do with the shoes?
No. What happened was, when they tried me the first time, they want to say how I could fix shoes. I don't remember exactly what was that time. I fixed shoes, and the whole nails come through, so very long nails. when the officer saw the shoes and he saw the nails, he said, "You're going to be hanged for that, because you make sabotage." You know, and just luckily, he didn't keep his word. He let me stay there.
Who showed you what to do?
It was a German. It was one from the Jews too. They made him like a supervisor.
A Jew?
Yeah, from the foreign people one. At that time he speak a little German, so they pick him because he know the language. He know how to speak the language.
So how often would you go to work?
Oh, every day. In weekend we used to unload the food used to come for the German army. Stopped and we have special places there with frigidaires, and we unload and then we load out. We put it back and put it in. We doing the week.
Had you formed any special relationships with any of the other men?
What do you mean special? During that time? No. About any special relationship.
And can you describe these rooms where you stayed?
It was little rooms with 4 double beds. When it was cold, we brought in wood. We had a lot of wood there. And we had warm. And then the house was very nice.
And how many to a bed?
4. 2 downstairs, 2 upstairs.
And what kind of food did they give you?
We had in the morning we had like maybe a quarter-pound bread, like that, quarter-pound bread, in some black coffee. The bread was like black, really you kid. We eat it, but it was today I wouldn't taste it. But that time, we were hungry, we ate everything.
Did they give you any other meals?
In lunchtime, but between 12 and 1, we had a little soup. It was really water, it was no soup. It was just warm water. In the evening, the same thing. Evening, we have again a little piece of bread and a little coffee.
How long were you there?
I was there till 43, 1943. In 43, it was like in September 43. They put us in trains and they shipped us back to Poland, to our camp, Blizin, Blizin, in Poland.
Who went?
Only the 40 people that used to be in Boberonsk. So, we stopped between in Lublin and divide us, to separate us. The half went to Blizin, and the other half went to Auschwitz.
How did they do the separating?
But disconnected. We had a couple of trains, disconnected trains, and the half went to Blizin, the half went to Auschwitz.
Did you know where you were going?
No. You never knew where you're going.
What was that trip like?
Trip was same thing. We have no food, no nothing. There was, I think, just 1 day and 1 night. It was a short trip. And when we came into Blizhin, the first time I saw women and men together in one camp. I never saw, we don't have no women. It was only men. Here I saw women in that camp. So I start to look around and ask, maybe I go find my sister, maybe my brother, but I don't find nobody. So I've been in this camp also for 1 year.
Can you describe what it was like from the moment you arrived at the camp?
When we arrived in the camp, they changed our clothes. We have to change to complete the clothes. And they give us already the clothes with the stripes over there, I remember. And I was working every day. We used to break stones, big stones, and we were supposed to break them in pieces. It's a very hard job.
How were you supposed to do that?
With hammers and all the kind of stuff. I used to break them. This was my job, what I have to do with more people. We used to go out in the morning outside the camp. We came in after the job was done.
Where did you sleep?
Also, we call it barracks. Also, yeah, it was also little wooden bed. We sleep. Everybody slept good. We were so tired. Nobody took pills to sleep.
Did you know anybody?
In this camp? No. I don't know nobody who I know.
Did you make any friendships there?
No, it was very hard because everybody thought for himself. Everybody wanted to survive, so there was no honesty, no friends. No, you can't do it. No.
Can you describe what it was like, what a typical day would be like there?
We had different days. We had some, they call it better days, worse days, and very bad days. For example, I remember in this camp in Blizhin, I was so skinny, I was unable to walk. I can walk. So everybody went to work, and I stood in the barrack. During the day, I started to go out from my barrack, and a German saw me. He called me, he said, "Why you're not working? What are you doing here?" I said, "I can't because I can't work. I'm too weak." In that time, I imagine I was weight maybe 40 pounds, maybe 30 pounds. My head was fallen already. Everything was fallen. So he walked with his wife, the German, with a big German Shepherd dog. He told the dog he should jump on me. So luckily, his wife stopped the dog for jumping on me. This I remember it was. So she stopped the dog. And then I went back to the barrack. A couple of Germans come into the barrack and they're looking, say, what are you doing? I say, I'm not working. He said, our day across is my room. You go up to the room, clean my room, clean up the whole room, in the whole food, what is in the closet there, you take it with you home. Just lock, everything is locked to survive. So I have so much food, I have to go 10 times forth and back to carry the food. So because this food, I'm sure I put on right away in the next couple of days, maybe 10 pounds. So this way, have different days, you survive.
Where did you put all that food?
Under the pillow. Very high under the bed,
Did you share it?
I don't have to share it. That was stolen the next day. The next day when I get up, I don't have the food anymore.
Did you return back to work?
Yeah. Later I returned to some work, right. All kind of different work. Really, we don't have special work to do. We carry stones from one place to another. The first day we carry the stones to one place, the next day we take the same stuff, put back to the other. So, to keep us occupied.
Was there any recognition in the camp when there was a Jewish holiday?
In Auschwitz we have this one. In Auschwitz we have Erev Yom Kippur. We call it the Stube Älteste, like the couple. It was a Polak. When we came home from work, he said, tomorrow, he said, it's Yom Kippur holiday. And I want you should pray. And I go see that everybody should have prayer book. And then I got try to double the food for you. So what happened was, in the office, a couple of Hungarian Jews used to work there, and they brought us prayer books, brand new prayer books, never used, and also to license, praying shawls they brought us, and double portions bread, and we were praying Yom Kippur. Then the next day when I went to work, and then we had one man, he used to be a big cantor in Poland and in a big temple in Częstochowa. He was our cantor. And the Polak were so impressed with him. After the Yom Kippur, we started to kiss him, and they were crying. So, after holiday, we went out to the appeal. This means every day in the morning with appeal to count how many missing, how many. And he don't like the way how we stood. I remember it was raining. In the bottom whole Auschwitz, the bottom was lime, When it was raining, you can't stay. When you have to when you put in one foot, you can take out the other foot. It's very bad rain. He became wild. He started to yelling at us, we should fall down on the ground. Everybody fell. We were that time maybe about 600 people. We fell to the ground. Then he said, get up, fall again, get up, and fall again. Then we start to yell, no more fall down, stay. Everybody stop. We report this to the people who work in office by the Germans. And they took care of him. The next day in the morning, the Germans took him away and they put him in the crematorium. This was one incident we had in Auschwitz.
Where were you before you were in Auschwitz?
In Belgium.
Can you describe how you ended up going to Auschwitz?
I really was not thinking too much. My mind was not properly working, I think, 100%. I was not afraid for that. I just prayed that death should come quick. You see, I don't want to go not in crematorium and not die from hunger. And then I was not worried. In fact, I was jealous. When I get up in the morning, a dead person was laying next to me, I was jealous. I thought, thanks God, by him is over, and I still have to suffer.
When did you learn about the crematoriums?
I learned the first time really when I came to Auschwitz. I didn't know before.
Did you end up at Auschwitz through a selection?
I was on selection by Mengele, Dr. Mengele. I find out that by the selections, when one time in the morning when he come over and look on us, counting us, select us, who's supposed to go to the crematorium, who's supposed to not. He picked me to go to the crematorium. His people, the people who was with him, had a paper. When he picked somebody, he didn't talk. He just showed him with his finger, left or right. Left was, I don't remember, probably crematorium, and right is go back to the barracks. So when it came to me, he make the finger to the left. And the officers told me, aussteigen. That means come forwards. And he wrote down my number. When he wrote down my number, then I thought, that's it. This is finished. So what happened was, I don't like it, he don't like it that time, because he saw something that people start to run out and run to the barracks. He called everybody back and he said, I go make again. I start again to make the selections. You understand? And he told the officer in the back, tear down the paper, the names and the numbers. He started to yell, the Judenhunde and this, the Juden dogs and this and that. He started over again. When he started over again, I was sure he could stop me again. But I was so lucky, he picked the next guy to me. And he passed me. And the other guy went. Just look, you can't describe this. That could always happen by him. And for him it was not different. But anyway, by him, everybody looked the same. He didn't recognize the people between one and the other. So I was lucky that time.
When did you arrive at Auschwitz?
In 44. In summer. I don't remember exactly the month. In summer 44.
Can you describe what it was like when you arrived?
That time I find out that is a crematorium there because we came there, our group was 20 people in the group. There was some more people, I don't know from where they came. So they told us to stay right there when we jumped from the train. Stay there. They took away other people. In me, with maybe another 20 people, he told us to stay here till he comes back. When he went away, we stood there. I saw a couple of people start to say Kaddish and pray. And I heard the first time the word open. That we probably going to the open, to the crematorium. So we all say Kaddish and that. We were waiting. Then Dr. Mengele come out again and they give us, they put the numbers on the arms and told us to go in the barrack 14. I remember the barrack. We should go to the barrack 14. So this way I survived. But I really, that time I knew the first time, it was so many years, that existed a crematorium.
Can you describe what it was like when you found out about this?
Nothing. Because I can't help it anyway. I knew I wouldn't survive the war. It was only a matter of days. Today or tomorrow, after tomorrow. And everybody thought the same thing. Everybody knew we wouldn't survive.
What was the procedure to give you the number on your arm?
What you mean?
How did that happen?
Well, we were 20 people, like I told you, we stood. A guy came over and it was just like a pen, I remember. He sticked in and gave us the number. That's it.
Did you have to get...
And he said, you temporarily survive. This I remember. Temporarily survive. But from Auschwitz, nobody will survive.
Did you have to get new clothing when you got there?
Yeah, in every place, new place you came in, you have to change the clothes. Because they were afraid you have something hiding in the clothes, maybe diamonds, maybe gold, or something. So the first thing, you change the clothes.
And what were your new clothes like?
Also, and Auschwitz was with the stripes, the kind of stuff.
Did they shave your hair?
Yeah, they shaved the hair. Yeah. A couple of days. I don't have hair when I came to Auschwitz. They shaved before. No, I didn't have hair.
What was the barrack like?
The bed in Auschwitz was also was a big. We were 500 people in one room. It was a long room, very long barrack. It was beds also downstairs and upstairs. I think I don't remember or 3 beds, one at the top or 2. I don't remember exactly, but it was 500 people.
And what did you do during the day there?
We didn't do anything because they call it like a quarantine. This is like temporary, like sick people or people don't have work, something like that. So we don't have no work. We were sitting outside and eating grass. That's what we did.
At that point, did you have any friendships?
No.
What did they give you to eat?
The same thing. In the morning, a piece of bread, like a quarter pound. Sometimes they steal the bread, or they give us a half a quarter pound. And coffee or warm water. That's it.
How long were you there?
I was 3 months. I think in some, yeah, and I was sitting outside. One day, a guy talked to me, I think it was a Polak, was not even Jewish, and he said, if something will happen, if you have a chance to go out from this camp someplace else, just try to go, because nobody will survive Auschwitz, he said. Everybody will go in the crematorium. So this went into my mind, how to go out from Auschwitz. So one day they said, we need people to another camp for some work, but because he has nothing to do for us. So I was from the first. I jumped up right away, and they took us away from Auschwitz. They took us to Germany. Germany, this is like 20 miles between Dachau and Munich. So I was in the other camp. They call it Kaufering, I remember, was a camp. Over there was very bad. This was the voice camp, what I've been before. We worked during the night. We walked 10 miles to work by 5 o'clock, and we came home in the morning by 8 o'clock, every day. And the job, however, was to unload cement from the trucks. This was only our job. It was a very hard job. And cement is very heavy. So we were not too healthy that time to carry 80 pounds, 75 pound cement. So I was in that camp.
How did you get there from Auschwitz?
Oh, by trucks, German trucks.
And how many went?
That time it was not too much, a couple of trucks with people.
Were you able to sleep all day?
During the day, yeah, we slept during the day.
And what were the barracks like there?
The old barracks was built in the ground. There was no windows. You have to go down, was a couple of broken steps, and you have to go down to the steps. It was built in. There was no windows. Just you saw like a little roof thing out. That's it.
Was this all men?
This was all men, yeah. Only Belgium was a camp, women with men together. Not even Auschwitz. Women were women in Auschwitz, but they had different camps, but not together.
And when did they feed you at this camp?
The same thing, in the morning, right in the morning, early in the morning, then we came home. the morning before we went to work, and then we came back in the next day in the morning. We had food.
So they were giving you food before you left for work and when you got back?
Yeah, like regularly, yeah. Then in the morning.
And what did they give you to eat?
Mostly the same thing, like in the other camps.
Were you able to shower there?
No, there was no shower.
What were you wearing at that point?
Also stripes, the special camp uniforms, and the hats, same thing.
And when was this that you were there?
In 1944, I think, like in September, probably was this.
And how long were you there?
I was there till April 45. In April 45, they took us to Dhaka, because Dhaka was not far from there. They took us to Dhaka. They put us in open trains. And during the transport, I remember, the English pilots bumped the train. They thought we are German. They bumped the train, and a lot of people were killed. Jewish people on the train.
Did you know where you were going?
No. We never knew where we were going.
How much time was there when you knew that you were going to go before you left?
Maybe a day before.
And what would you know?
Or we go out from the camp, that's it. We go in a different place. But we never knew where we were going.
Was there a selection process to decide who would go?
No.
How would they decide who went?
They didn't decide who went. Like when I went from Auschwitz out, they just said, we need people who want to go out, who want to go work, go out from Auschwitz and work some other place. You should come tomorrow morning and this place. So we went there, and the trucks were waiting for us, and we jumped on the trucks, and that's it. And some people don't want to go. So not everybody wants to go.
Is that how it worked going to Dachau also?
To Dachau, no. They took us from there because it was close entering the war already. And we knew that time, the first time, we knew it's possible we could survive the war. But because the war comes to an end.
You were telling us about the transport to Dachau. How many people from the camp went?
It was a big transport, maybe from other camps too. So I really don't know. It was a big transport at that time. Maybe they came from other camps.
Did you arrive at Dachau during the day or night?
During the day. During the day. But before Dachau, the train stopped, and German people came to the trains and they offer us bread the first time. bread and water. So that time, because that we knew the war come to an end. Because normal they wouldn't do it that, and Germans wouldn't let them even do it that. So now, if the Germans didn't say nothing, they let them give us bread and say nothing. We knew the war come to an end.
Did anybody try and leave the transport?
Yeah, and in fact, I ran away too. I ran away, and then I start to yell the assessment, halt, halt, stehen bleiben, stay, stay. If not, he go shot me. So I lay down on the grass, and I get up with the hand high. He told me to go back.
How did you get off the train when you tried to escape?
We jumped.
Did you decide to do this with somebody else, or were you alone?
No, everybody does. In fact, they caught me, told me to go back. I remember that a couple of guys didn't want to stop when they told them to stop. And they went farther. I don't know if they survived or not, but they went away. Probably they survived because this was the end. I was only 1 week in Dhaka. That's all. So probably 1 week, possible they survived.
Can you describe what it was like when the German people were giving the people on the trains
bread and water? We knew to the end of the war, we were already. Everybody was talking about the same thing. We hear, in many fact, one German told us in the camp. One German told us one time, we lost the war is finished. That was it. So we knew.
What happened to you when the train pulled into Dhaka?
Oh, we come off on the train. I don't remember exactly, so many years ago. I remember I was very weak that time. And they told me to went to bed on the top, on the second bed. And I was unable to go there. I can't walk there. So how I went, I don't know, but eventually I went there. And I never went up from the bed till the end of the war. I fall asleep, and I slept there the whole time. Till one day in the morning, it was the 28th of April, this I remember. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. It was raining outside. It was between day and night already. I hear somebody yell, "Get up! The Americans here." So I lift my head. I can't even lift my head that time. I lift my head, and I was sleeping near a small little window. I look outside the little window. I saw the voice, the American army.
Can you describe what that was like?
I fall asleep. And I wake up maybe after 2 days. Then come to my head, oh, after the war, I'm staying here. So I went down and I went outside the camp. And I saw it like the the American army is there, in the German SS cleaning the camp, everything. And they give us food that time, and after the food, a lot of people die because they make the food too fat. So they're not supposed to give us fat food, but little by little, start to give us better food. So a lot of people die that time. People who survived the war, because this kind of food, they die. And I remember a father with two sons. All three died in 1 hour. I come this food. Then when the Red Cross came in to find out what happened, it changed the food and it changed everything. So little by little.
Do you remember what you were eating?
That what?
What you were eating right after the war?
First, I had a container meat. Some meat was in the container. But an American soldier gave it to me. And I was lucky I didn't eat this because I was not hungry. Not because I was not hungry. I can't eat anymore. My stomach was so shrank so much that I don't care for food. So I didn't eat and I give somebody else to eat. But didn't took too long, maybe a couple of days, and start become more healthier. And then I start to think, what I could do now? Where I should go? I have nobody left over. But you know, life goes on little by little, you know, you start to talk to the people, everybody told you the same thing, you know. So one day I become sick, I fell unconscious in Dachau. And I wake up in a hospital. I wake up, I lay in a clean, first time, in a clean bed, in a nurse stays next to me. So I don't know what happened to me. Somebody told me I have typhus, I have high temperature, I don't know what happened, but I don't remember when they took me to the hospital. I just wake up in the bed in the hospital. And after the hospital, the Israeli legion was a lot from Israel. I used to fight with the English army during the war. They took care of us. They took us on truck and they brought us to a camp, the name Feldafink in Germany, with all survivors they brought over there, in this camp. Now, this camp we were already free. We could do what you want, we could go where you want. So we started becoming a lot of food there. And then I met my wife.
How long were you in that camp?
In Feldafink? Not long. Soon I met my wife. I left the camp because she was living in Munich. So I went. No, she was living in Traunstein, Germany. She asked me if I want to go to Traunstein with her. I said, I'm going. So we went there, and we married there. In 1946, my birthday day, January 7th.
How did you meet her?
But through other people, just accidentally. Just was, I remember the woman asked me if I want to meet her friends. I said, yes, I could meet her, but I'll tell you what. First I have to see it. If I like her, I'll let you know. So I saw her right across the street. And she told me how she could look. I look over, and she asked me, how? I said, this way.
Did you go back to your hometown?
Yeah, I went back twice. I went back in 87, 89.
When did you learn about the fate of the rest of your family?
I knew it was no survivors. Because the first time when they took me to concentration camp from the house where I used to live, my brother, my mother, look, I know they can't live too long. It's counting days.
Do you know what happened to them?
No. Maybe they died in the house, or maybe they went to the crematorium. I don't know that.
Were there any relatives that survived?
Yeah. One cousin. She survived because she went to Russia with her husband. Survived.
Can you describe what your wedding was like?
My wedding? My wedding was a piece mouse herring, and a piece bread, and a beer. That's it. Nothing else.
Was there a rabbi?
No, was a man, but he lived over there in the same place where we used to live. An older man, and he wrote the ksiba, he wrote the paper. I still have till now. If you want to see, I could show you. Want to see it?
And how long did you and your wife stay in Germany?
Till 51.
What
1951 we came to America.
What were you doing there?
Germany, nothing.
You were not working.
No, it was no work for us. Right after the war. Nothing.
And how did you decide to come to the United States?
We want to go to Israel first. We were ready to go to Israel. But my wife's sister, she was in America already before us. She went a couple of months before. So she said to her, you're not going to Israel, you're going to America. Because I'm here in America, you come here. So we changed our mind and we went to America.
And when did you come here?
In November 51. My 4-year-old son.
What did you do when you came here?
I work in a plastic factory. $25 a week. I made that time. After a couple of months, I worked very hard there. Took me 2 hours to go there by train at the subway and come back. I asked him for a raise. He asked, how much you want to raise? I said, how much you think I'm worth it? I said, you could give me $2. He said, wait, I'm busy now. I let you know. When he came back, I was sure he would give me the raise, $2. He said, "You're fired." Then I find another job. After that, I was looking for a job. When I come to the job, on the job for interview, on the end, he said, you could come starting Sunday because the store was open Sunday. I said, yes, I could come Sunday. He said, and then I said, how much you could pay me? He said, $55 to starting the first week. I said, I thought maybe I didn't hear good. I said, how much? He said, what do you mean how much? You have a family? I have a 4-year-old son. He goes to the yeshiva. My wife works, she's a dressmaker. Okay, so I give you $60. So you can imagine from 25, I asked him, I'll raise for $2. He told me, then come anymore. But you know what happened? After I started to work on this job for $60 a week, the owner alone from the plastic factory used to come every day to the store and begging me, I give you the same $60 because the whole factory stopped because I used to work by a certain machine. If the machine stopped, everybody's out of work. Understand? It was a brand new special machine he bought it come to me from Germany because I understood German. And the engineers who brought the machine explained me in German how to work with the machine. So when I quit the job, nobody could work for him. He started to cry. I give you same $60. Come just back to me. I said, I'm sorry. I wouldn't come back. I have a job. I didn't work hard, nothing. So this way, I work in this store. And one day, it was a Sunday, also a Sunday, I helped a costumer to take out the package to his car. And I put the package in the car. He asked me, could I ask you something? I said, yes, sure, you could ask me. He was also a German Jew. So at that time I understood good English, he spoke in German. He said, you know, I like your work, how you work here. How about to become my partner? I said, your partner? I don't have money. You probably want money. He said, did I ask you for money? He said, just tell me you want to be my partner. So, tell you the story short, I went over there. This was in Newark, New Jersey. I went over to the store. I looked at the store over. I say, it's a busy store. Everything good. So he said, no, you like it? You want to be my partner? I said, how much money I could make in this store, the partner? I tell you what. We could take out both $200 every week. You take out 100 and I take out 100. And if you want, every week, you could pay me off how much you could, $10, $20, he said. And after 2 years, I got retired. You take over the business, you go pay me out later. So this is what happened.
Why do you think that you survived the war?
Look, I can't say I'm smart. Only only one word is, somebody stood next to you and protect you. Because every time when the voice came, the voice last minute, you're surviving, the oven, you're supposed to go to the oven. All of a sudden something happened, you survive. In one camp, I steal a carrot from the kitchen. And a German officer saw me jumping out from the window from the kitchen. He stopped me with this carrot. This was in Babranz. He reported to the high-ranking officers. The next day they're supposed to take me and hang me. The next day in the morning, everybody got to work, and they told me to wait in the room till they're going to take me away to be hanged. So I wait. I knew I was going to be hanged. An officer comes in, he called me outside. Stays a big truck. He give me a shovel. He said, jump on the truck. Give me a shovel. I was sure he takes me there to make my own grave. That was working. He took me away for the whole day to a place. He told me I should nothing to do there, just sitting. He gave me food. He gave me his portion bread. He kept me the whole day. Evening, he took me back to the camp. And when I come back, everybody started to yell, "You alive? You was hanging already." They took somebody else, set me to hang. So, but I could describe this. Only luck. Somebody stood next to me every time. He said, "No." You have to survive. And I survived. Because I remember in one camp when I went, I knew the people from Warsaw. Healthy, stronger like I was, younger like I was. They all can survive. They all die in the camp. I was smaller, weaker, not so smart like that. I survived. So, but I could tell you, only luck. You don't have to be smart or rich. If you have gold and diamonds, you could survive another couple of days. You understand? But otherwise, nothing.
How did your experiences impact on your belief in God?
I believe in God. I always used to believe in God. I always used to believe. I also always my whole life, I knew is a God who protects you. And then when something bad happened, it's only because of God. He wants you for something back. Something you did, something bad things. If you're doing good things, I think you are protected from God.
What impact did your experiences have on your personality now?
Now, after so many years, a long time. Now, I consider myself an old man. I don't feel old. According to age, I know I'm an old man. Because in Europe, people 65, they're calling an old man. Or 60, they call that old man. Here now is different. So I consider I'm an old man, but in a young body.
Why did you want to make this tape?
I feel in another couple of years, 5, 10 years, there will be no survivors anymore. At least there will be something left over. But people were not able to deny the Holocaust in the later years. I'm sure these kind of people who saying that Holocaust never happened, they're just waiting for the day that the old survivors will die, will disappear. Then they will say, prove it. It never happened in Holocaust. And this is going to be the proof.
What did you tell your son when he was growing up of your experiences?
I used to tell him, he used to ask me how many brothers I had, how many sisters I have, how was my mother, if I remember my grandmother. I said, tell him, no, I remember her, but not too much. I said, I told him how many sisters, how many brothers. Mostly, I never talk special about this, about the camps, about the whole thing. If he asks me, I answer, but I never start to tell him stories. But the last couple of years, I used to tell him sometimes. Same thing like I talk with you all the time.
Did he ask about the number on your arm?
Yeah, even my grandson, my granddaughter used to ask me too.
What do you tell them?
I tell them the Germans did it. Tell them the truth. And when he was small, he used to say, the bad people, I met on them.
Have you gone back to Europe since the war?
I went twice back to Poland. And I went to the Jewish cemetery. I thought maybe I could find some traces there. No, I didn't find anything. In this house is still a field, empty field, nothing. But around this house where I used to live, it's new houses. But this special mine house where I used to live, is no house, nothing is built there. I can understand why, but there must be a reason.
Did you go back to any of the concentration camps?
Yeah, we went back to Auschwitz. Matter of fact, I went back to my same block where I used to be still there. And I went to my bed. I call it a bed, but it's really not a bed. And I sit on the bed maybe for a half hour with my wife. And we were talking.
Can you describe that?
I could describe only we both were crying.
Is there a message you would like to leave the world on this tape?
A message to whom?
To anyone you'd like?
Never lose your hope. So long you are alive, you could survive everything. In sickness, in health, in business, in everything. Everything which goes wrong, you think, end of the world, you still could survive. This I find out. In the 3 years that I was in camp, I supposed to be dead 50 times already. I still survive.
Is there anything else that you would like to add on this tape that you didn't say?
When I went back to Poland the first time in '87, when I saw the Poland stay in the line for food, and they're fighting for a piece of bread, they have no food. This was my happiest day in my whole life after the war. Because the Poles, if they want to, a lot of Jewish people will survive the war. They helped the Germans kill the Jewish people. This I want to, everybody should know. Very bad people. I don't know why, very bad.
I'd like to thank you very much for agreeing to do this tape today.
You're welcome.
Can you introduce us to your wife?
Yes. This is my wife, Irving Miesing. This is my lovely wife for 50 years.
Can you describe what your husband is like?
This is like
What is he like?
what he likes. I think he likes everything. He's not a forced person. He's a very easy person. He didn't complain.
And what is your marriage like?
Can be better. One word. You know, if you stay with the same person for 50 years, we had bad times, good times, but for us it was always a good time. Even when it was bad, still it was good.
Most time I have almost nothing to eat. But nobody knows that. I never tell my friends. Even in the United States, we still often laugh when we can laugh. I never complain, never tell nobody this. Never.
What kind of influence do you think your husband's war experience is had on the kind of man that he became?
Stronger. Much stronger.
How would you answer that question?
She has more experience. She's smart. And trust. This is the main thing in life. Trust. If you trust each other, this is the best marriage.
How long have the two of you been living in Florida?
21 years.
And what do you like to do together?
Everything. Take a ride, go places, see the world. We travel a lot. Did my husband tell you? No? I've been in Israel 7 times. From 59, even if it was first time in Israel, and after I started to go in Europe, all over. But we like to travel beyond the goal.
And where is your son today?
My son lives upstate New York, near Lake George in Saratoga Springs.
And is he married?
He's married, have 2 children, a son 14 and a daughter going to be 17.
Is there any special message you would like to leave them on this tape?
Just let them be happy. We don't want to bother them, and we don't want that they bother us. It's the best definition. We love them very much. We're very close. But I said, don't bother you, and I bother you.
Thank you very much.
Very well.
Can you tell us who's in this picture?
Yeah. These are my parents, my mother, my father. This picture was taken, what I think, right after they were married.
And what were their names?
The name was, the real name for my father was Pesach Miesing. My mother was Zvoira Friedman in the house.
Can you tell us who's in this picture?
Yeah. This is a picture taken on the Jewish cemetery in Warsaw a year after my grandmother, my mother's mother, died. This is the day when we put the stone. On the right side is my brother, the older after me. The next is my mother. The next is my younger brother. The next is my youngest sister. Then my father and myself.
How did you obtain this photo?
When I came to America, I found out accidentally. I have an uncle here. He lives in East Side, New York. I took his address, I went to him, and he gave me the picture. But we sent him from Poland to America.
Can you tell us about this picture?
This picture, I passed by, I saw a group of people and somebody taking pictures. So I want to stay in the front and be on the picture. But the people don't let me, start to push me around. And I finally went in the back and I stood on my toes to be a little taller, to be on the picture. You could see it. I'm staying on my toes. And this I am in this I am in the picture.
And where was this picture taken?
They're taken in Dachau, maybe 2 or 3 days after the American came in.
How did you come to be in this picture?
And it just happened, I passed by, and I saw a group, a bunch of people staying there, and they're taking pictures. So I said, let me stay, let me have a picture too taken for me. So, but I remember I want to stay in the front to be on the picture really. So the people don't let me, say not in the front, you go in the back. So they just start to push me around. I went to the back and I stood on my toes and they took the picture. I went away because farther away they took again pictures. So I never saw the other picture. This is only the one picture that I really remember that time. Yeah, this was taken, I think, short time after we were married in Germany.
And this is who in the picture?
This is my wife, myself.
Can you tell us who's in this picture?
Yeah. This picture was taken during my granddaughter's bat mitzvah. I'm standing there. Next to me is my son, my daughter-in-law, my wife. In the back from the right is my nephew, my grandson, my granddaughter, Debbie.